Hey guys, Professor Bill, Comic Book University, and Meta Falcon issue number 7 from Image Skyborn. Dude! Dude! I do not, my comic book store is actually the largest in Canada. And yet, just, it is what it is. I didn't see some of the variant covers for there. There was actually a Ronnie James Dio cover for this, and I was really hoping they were going to have it, and they didn't freaking have it. I'm hugely disappointed that I didn't get that comic book. Anyway, this cover is still really cool. So let's get into who made this. We got Daniel Warren Johnson, creator, artist, and writer. Mike Spicer colors, Russ Wooten on letters. Yeah, a whole bunch of really cool. I think it was Erica Henderson who did the Ronnie James Dio cover. And the logo design, was Daniel Warren Johnson also, and Andreas Juarez. So Jake is jacked in this one, jacked up, I should say. There's a difference, it's like I'm big and strong, or no, I'm laying here bleeding from my chest. Sucking chest wounds sucks. Literally. That's the whole purpose of it. What have you. He's meeting I guess like the Satan of the Feldar in his mind. This satanic being put a piece of himself inside of Jake when he was wounded. So it's kind of like he's got like the Voldemort thing going on with Harry Potter. That was the fifth book that they really got into that. So yeah, that was that's sick. So like the whole thing, he's having this conversation. Merc winds up coming back to life basically because the axe, the guitar was fixed. They have fans in Japan. They have a lot of fans in Japan. In my high school, we had a couple of bands that actually went pretty big, just not big over here in America. Here I'm in Canada. You get what I'm saying. They weren't particularly big in the States, but in Europe, they were freaking huge. And years later, they'd find out that they've got, a huge following in Japan also. They didn't know this. Because, how often do we get marketing from Japan, for crying out loud? Specifically for bands and things like that. We just don't know. So they were shocked. The band had actually already broken up by the time they found out they had a freaking following in Japan. That's crazy, right? So, yeah, Daniel is big time into the metal scene. For him to, pull off something like that, that's pretty cool. And I do hope that Eastern Europe gets its own comic book at some point, like, volume 2 of this. Because I don't think Jake is very long for this world. That's okay, man. That's okay. This is literally the ultimate comic book for anybody who's got a band, a garage band. It's like, does anybody even have garages anymore? You know what I'm saying? The state of the union is getting pretty terrible when everybody I know, for the most part, is living in freaking apartments. It's oof. Anyway, maybe that's one of the main reasons for the fall of metal. No more garages. Can't have garage bands anymore. So, where are you going to practice? Where are you going to shred? It's easier to mess with a turntable, I guess. Does anybody even use turntables anymore? Dude, music sucks nowadays. All right, between metal and rock, if that's even what they want to call it anymore, and mumble rap. Like, what the hell is happening to the freaking world? God damn, we're going to hell in a handbasket. And it's because we don't have freaking Public Enemy and Metallica anymore. Yeah, I know, we technically still have Metallica. Not my point. We don't have Ronnie James Dio anymore. How about that? So, the end of this comic book. When Jake reaches up, and I'm looking, it looks like he's just going to throw his hair back, right? But it's not the position of his hand. Like, the position of his hand is wrong. It looks like he's grabbing his hair. Yeah, that was the panel layout and the way that it flipped you had to actually turn the page to see the reveal. God damn, this is a good comic book. Anybody who at any moment says, I think I'm going to drop this comic book to save some money. Bro, you got to save money, and, my heart goes out to you. I hope things get better. But, man, this was a bad comic. Every comic book is a bad comic book to not get the next comic book on. For this comic series, that was I'm looking at like, shoot. Well, that makes perfect sense. Oh, by the way, guys, I am donating my hair to Cancer Kids. So if, yeah, actually, it's long enough that I think two kids could get this. I'm just saying. But, what do you call it? Yeah. Go to my crowdfunding page, please, and donate, even just one lousy dollar. Because I'm trying to do as much as I can for the local hospital there, specifically the program Cancer Kids to try. Excuse me, Bloor Children's Hospital. This goes to Cancer Kids regardless, but I'm hoping to try and generate $300 in order to help out that cause. Yeah, read this comic book and then just make a lousy dollar donation, please. Help some kids out. All right, guys. Really good comic book. Really good comic book. I love, like, the panel layout really has to get top billing here in some ways, because just the way that you turn the page and, oh shoot, things that aren't a huge surprise, they pan into them. Things that turn out to be something, holy crap, you got to turn the page for, and there's a reveal, and it's a great reveal. I love the layout. I love everything about this comic book. Professor Bill, Comic Book University. Class dismissed.